Hello Aquarius, welcome to Grow to Glow Tarot. This is what changes do you need to make for next year? What changes does Aquarius need to make for next year? There's a very strange energy today as I'm recording this. It's the first day of Mercury retrograde. And there's a strange energy. At work there were many slips of the tongue, many issues that happened. Definitely things being brought into the light. What changes does Aquarius need to make for next year? That is probably enough. In your unconscious, a personal victory about your home life. Maybe even about children and like a sort of nostalgia that you have for happier times. There might be a little bit of envy and jealousy going on about how things were in the past. But you definitely want a victory, you want healing in your home life. Okay? So that was at the bottom of the deck. Let's get some clarifiers for the Fool, for Aquarius, for what changes they need to make for next year. Clarify the Fool. Definitely make sure you're watching your words. Tone of voice, not just what you're saying, but tone of voice too. Or the nuances. Clarify the King of Cups. How about the Queen of Swords? Clarify the Queen of Swords. How about the Two of Cups? Any other clarifiers for the Two of Cups? Four of Cups. Clarifiers for the Four of Cups. A shout out. How about the World and the Hangman? Clarifiers for the World and the Hangman. What changes does Aquarius need to make? Clarify the World and the Hangman. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. I don't know when that flipped over. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles, please, for Aquarius. Okay, so you cannot please everybody all of the time, right? Don't worry about being a people pleaser. Really pay more attention to putting yourself first. Okay, so there's somewhere that you need to drop the baggage. You need to have faith in yourself, trust in yourself, and you need to let go of the past and allow new things, new experiences, new people, new journeys into your life. Okay, there's something where you might have had trouble getting a good balance with your finances or getting a good balance with your mental health versus things that other people wanted from you. Okay, things that were expected of you. Like your parents were always like, oh, you're going to grow up and you're going to be president, or you're going to be a doctor, or whatever they wanted you to be. That's just one example. So there's a situation where there were expectations put on you and you had trouble balancing that with what you wanted to do. You felt the weight of the world on you, and that really affected your thinking in a negative way. Now we've got the Magician, the Sun, and Justice, and it's interesting because Justice is over here with the King of Cups. So you got Justice twice. So this is talking about being able to manifest what you want, getting into the right headspace, getting your emotions, your physical body, your spiritual, your soul, getting your emotions, your physical, your soul, your thinking, all on the same page in order to manifest what it is that you want, in order to get this new beginning, this release, this path that's true to you, this release from other people's limitations put on you, other people's desires put onto you, other people's I don't know, their expectations. So the Sun is bringing you clarity, and this is a really great Sun card. You see the pyramid, the three-sided pyramid with the, of course, some people call it like the Freemason eye, or the eye of the Illuminati, or, you know, Rosicrucian eye, or whatever. But it's basically just the eye, because it's extending out that knowledge. You're getting clarity on a deeper soul level. You're getting clarity on where your growth lies, where your rebirth lies, where this journey is that you need to take. You're getting clarity on that, and you're growing. And Justice is talking about limiting black and white thinking, limiting distractions to your thinking, limiting outside influences that are affecting your inability to balance your thoughts and balance your life. Okay? So you really need to get rid of those distractions. And here we got the King of Cups that came out sideways, and Justice came out facing the other way. So your emotions, you're struggling to get those under control. You're struggling to like master them and keep them under control in order to notice the harp there. The harp, the Orpheus's harp, the rebirth, right? In this deck, in the Druid craft, the harp is also on the Sun card, on the card of rebirth, the card of growth, the card of coming out of dark into the light. So where are you looking back when you should be looking forwards? Okay, the story of Orpheus, he goes down to the underworld to rescue his love, and he is warned that she can go with him. There's a lot more to the story, but she is warned that, or he is warned, Orpheus is warned that his love can go with him so long as he doesn't look back at her during the journey, until they reach the surface, until they reach Earth again. And unfortunately, it gets the better of him because he hasn't seen her in a while, and he just can't help it. He wants to make sure. He has this fear and anxiety that she's not right behind him, so he turns around and loses her forever. He comes back out into the light, he's reborn, but she has to stay in the underworld. So the harp is like Orpheus's harp. You know, it has to do, well, maybe not, because this is, you know, the Druid craft. So, you know, maybe it's the harp. There's other harps in Celtic myth, but because I had an interest also in Greco-Roman myth, that's what I always associate the harp with, especially when we're talking about rebirth. So you could be looking back at too many things rather than looking forwards, okay? This bag that the Fool is carrying, he's got his clothes, he's got his dog, a sprig of mistletoe, his wand, and this little teeny tiny bag, okay? So this bag that he's carrying, you could be looking back a little too much and not letting go of this baggage, not really concentrating on getting a good balance in your thinking and mastering where you're at, like where have you come from, but you don't want to look back, you want to look forwards. Especially out of fear and anxiety, you don't want to look back, you want to look back and think about these things in a way that helps you move forwards, not in a way that keeps you stuck in the fear and anxiety, or that keeps you stuck in the past or somebody else's ideals. Now, the Queen of Swords, she's sitting up there on that throne. Looks like she might, leap up at any time, but for now she's just calm. She's calmly holding on to her sword, just resting. She's got that knowledge from the tree there where she meditated underneath it. It's all about communication. It's all about the way that you're thinking about things. And the Queen of Swords, she can cut people off. She can cut out situations that aren't good for her. She can set those boundaries and say, hey, this is no longer appropriate. If somebody's pushing you to do or be something that you aren't or something you don't want to be, the Queen of Swords, she says, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to put up with that. You can have a limiting role in my life if you're going to be that way and not let me make my own decisions, not let me go my own way. I'm going to only put you in a limiting role. So the Queen of Swords very much talks about that. And then we've got the Four of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Four of Cups. So fours are about stability. They're about building that stability. They're about taking action towards the stability. Four of Cups. So you're looking at what the possibilities are. Where it seems impossible, a three-legged table, a cup that's spilling water in three different directions into three different cups, including over a branch. That's kind of impossible, but yeah, it's right under this person's nose. So the impossible is right under your nose. And sometimes this card is interpreted as a gift from the universe. Something that's like a surprising gift comes in from the universe. But it's also about daydreaming of the possibilities sometimes. To me, this is more speaking about things that seem impossible, like peace of mind, peace where you live, living in a peaceful environment. Those may seem impossible to you, but there is a way to achieve that. There is a way, you just have to look at it from a different perspective. Maybe take something out of the equation because there is only 3 table legs, not 4. So where's the 4th table leg? I mean, I did modify this deck, but there never was a 4th table leg there. So taking something out of the equation, certainly setting those boundaries, you're studying that. You're studying that for your health. You're looking at that from a different viewpoint at the beginning of your journey, and notice in the 2 archways, this Page of Pentacles has the sun and the moon. So you're learning from those past experiences and you're getting enlightenment. You may need to sit and relax a little bit to do it because this page is, they're kind of almost like convalescing while they're reading the book. to do it. So you may need to sit and relax a little bit in order to get this like an aha moment, or to get some more inspiration. You may need to allow yourself to daydream a little bit. Now, the final clarifier for this Queen of Swords was the Four Wands. So Four Wands, when it's in the reverse, can talk about an unhappy home and quarrels in the home. You got it in the upright, so it's talking about the happy home. It's talking about things like marriage. It's talking about things like a new job, new beginnings that make you happy. Notice the characters dancing there. They're dancing, they're having fun, they're enjoying it. The star, the wish come true, is right there in the center of the card. There's a balance that needs to happen creatively and spiritually in your soul in order to achieve that happy home, in order to achieve that new job that makes you happy, that new car or whatever. You need to remember that it's healthy to set boundaries and let go of things in order to make way for new things. Okay, or for new people. So what is it that you want out of this new situation, this job, this new beginning? What is it that you want in this milestone year for yourself? Okay. Two of Cups. So this talks about having a good balance. It's a meeting of the minds. It's harmony between yourself and another person, but it's also a good balance between your dreams and reality. It's a good balance between the spiritual and the physical, between the mental and the emotional, and having stability because you have that balance. So you don't want your expectations to be too high. You don't want them to be too low. Okay, you want a good balance. We have the High Priestess here. She stands in the doorway between worlds, and she's almost like the Justice card because she has the two columns, right? Just like the traditional Justice card. But she's also got all the cycles of the moon, and the moon, when it's full, it almost looks like the sun, right? Because it's not colored in. So it's almost like she has the clarity from both the moon and the sun. And the moon, we know moonlight is the sun reflected, right? So she's got that ability to use her knowledge and her intuition to start something new. Go on there. To start this new beginning when it comes to the dreams and the reality matching. Oh my God. Sorry. What are you doing? No. Sorry. No. Okay. Let's see. I love you, little buddy. But no. You just made a big ol' mess. Okay. I think I remember what cards were where. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Ten of Pentacles talks about an ending and a beginning of a cycle, talks about your physical health, talks about your career and finances, any physical possessions here in the material world, it talks about where you're having struggles, where you're having arguments, where there could be setbacks financially, health-wise. When it's in the reverse, the Tower was in the reverse. So if you're getting a more realistic perspective with the Two of Cups, if you're getting a more realistic perspective of your dreams and reality, you can avoid serious financial loss. You can avoid a serious health issue with this Ten of Pentacles. It's more red because it usually talks about legacy. There's usually a picture of a castle and a family on this card, so it usually talks about generational wealth, legacy down the family line, more than health. But because it's a pentacle, it can also be read as being about poor health. So when it's in the reverse, there can be squabbles about this, but you could also be avoiding a complete disaster if you get the expectations between dreams and reality together, if you get them closer together, if you get this meeting of the minds, if you get this harmony spiritually and physically, that will help you avoid this, because we have the Tower in the reverse, and that is also about avoiding a complete disaster when it's in the reverse. So the Tower, it can talk about an aha moment, or it can talk about something that needs to change and you're not changing it, you're kind of avoiding it. So the universe steps in and it changes stuff. So this Tower moment being in the reverse, you could be afraid of the change, but if you take steps to prevent a full disaster, it would be better than having the universe step in and create a full disaster. I hope that makes sense. So this is about averting a disaster here by getting your dreams and reality to be a little more closer together, your expectations emotionally, to get a meeting of the minds. Okay, so the Hermit and the Empress. I think these two are also for the Two of Cups. The Empress in reverse is about people pleasing, and the Hermit in reverse is about not listening to your intuition, not following your own light, not going on your own path, and feeling like you're alone because you're not even trusting your gut. So when you're not trusting your gut, you can't trust anybody else. So there's this issue with, so the dreams and reality, there's this issue with the people pleasing and not following your own path and your own gut, and how that makes you isolated. It makes you isolated because of fear and anxiety. It makes you isolated because of, feeling like you have to do it all yourself type of thing, and not relying on other people or other things. Like, we are all connected. Everything is connected. Every person is connected. If you went back far enough, you would find a common ancestor, probably at least a dozen common ancestors with somebody else. There was a sci-fi book I read about that once. Don't remember. It was a female author, but I don't remember who. like in the late 80s. This woman, she wanted to raise an army, and the rules of the land, like she wanted to raise an army to fight like the king, the evil king or something. The rules of the land were, in order to have an army, you had to be related to somebody else in that army. So like most of the people in the kingdom knew their ancestry like for generations backwards. And so when they met somebody who wanted to join her army against this evil king, they basically, all the soldiers, would gather around and recite their family history until they came upon a common ancestor. Which, is quite true. We all have common ancestors. And when you're fighting your battles, I haven't gotten much into like ancestry worship or asking ancestors as guides or anything like that. But that may be something for you to look into. Not necessarily ancestor worship, but ancestors as guides helping you on this journey. So you're not feeling as disconnected. Now we have the Four of Cups here, and this was sideways, and you see one of the cups is kind of hidden behind the person. Their passions are kind of controlling them a little bit, and they're daydreaming. This one was sideways, so you can daydream a little too much. Don't do that. You definitely want to think of the possibilities, but you want to look at what possibilities maybe aren't so easily seen, but they are real, versus, one of these cups is spilled. So that means that possibility isn't real. It's not something that you can do. It's not something that'll work out. And then there's two that are upright. They would work out, as well as this hidden one. But the hidden one may be the one that, it looks like there's water in there, whereas there's nothing else in these ones. The hidden opportunity, the hidden potential, the hidden possibility, that may be the one that brings you nourishment, that helps you. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles really looking at building that stability and where your health, where your stability, where your career and your family are at versus, where you want them to be. What would you consider to be a great life? What would you consider to be a great work-life balance? And we've got Nine of Pentacles over here too. And then we've got Two of Pentacles, and I remember this came out sideways. So Two of Pentacles, it's the card of juggling and struggling. You see how it's a treadmill when you're upright. It's adapting to toxic environments because you have to, like a toxic work environment, because you can't find another job right away and you need to pay bills. So the potential for a better job is there with that Four of Cups. The potential for a better life, a happier life, away from the struggle, it's there. Then we've got the World and the Hangman. The World is sideways, so be careful not to take shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to a good life, okay? Even lottery winners, there's no shortcut there. Most of them wind up broke within about 5 years, I think. Most of them wind up broke because they're spending their money frivolously. Like they might pay off all their debts, but then they start accruing new debts, right? So yeah, just be mindful of that. So the world, you're looking to complete this cycle, you're looking to accomplish something, but with it being sideways and the hangman being here, there's something of the old perspective you need to let go of, that you need to change in order to move forwards and accomplish what it is that you want. There is something that needs to be, ouch, let go of. And we've got Temperance and the Star in the reverse. So the Star in the reverse talks about a delay to your dreams. It talks about your dreams not coming true. You're wanting to connect to an expanding perspective, right? You want to be in the right place at the right time, but there's an issue going on. There's frustrations, there's confusion, this disconnection, a loss of self-esteem that's been happening, and you need to release this pain and trauma that you've been holding on to. You need to look at what is good in your life, what is beautiful in your life. What are the things that you look forward to and you take inspiration from? Those are the things that are going to help you, and those are the things you need to kind of meditate and sit with and look at. That is a blue, I forget what they're called, goldstone. It's a blue goldstone. This is actually, I don't know if you can see the sparkle on the camera. This is actually a stone about ambition. I forget what its other metaphysical properties are. You can Google it, but this is interesting that the cat knocked this one down and not the jasper. So this is a stone about ambition. Maybe try carrying a blue goldstone or wear a ring or something, and use it like a worry stone. Meditate with it. Carry it in your pocket. That might help you. Temperance was the other clarifier for the world and the hangman. So temperance, all about discernment, all about getting balance between two aspects in your life, all about blending things together, trying to really work on, these two really disparate parts of yourself or parts of your life that just don't seem to be going together, that don't seem to be fitting right, and really working on healing that and blending them together and getting them to be a cohesive whole. And it is a struggle. And there's, this accomplishment that you want to achieve, you might have to give something up in order to make this blending happen. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles again, with the Six of Wands again. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles, this is the one from the Druid Craft. So she's standing there with that branch right across her, right? And that burden, she's kind of giving the side eye. This is all about the balance between the work and the play, the personal and private life. This is defining what you consider a life of luxury. It's about defining what you consider to be a good work-life balance and really using that knowledge to start taking off. to start achieving what you want and to have this personal victory. This is a victory in the way you define it. Some people call it the fame and fortune card. I say it's just a victory in the way you define it. But notice there's the sun and the moon, just like in the Page of Pentacles. There's the sun and the moon there in that card also. So there's a lot of clarity. Notice that protective aura too. A lot of clarity going on about what you would consider the good life, about getting out of your head, getting out of your emotions, and taking charge again. Getting out of your people pleasing and taking charge again, and how that brings you the victory that you want. So I hope this is going to be helpful to you. My apologies for the cat. He's the little troublemaker, but we love him. And if you are a little troublemaker as well, the people who love you despite that. Okay? Just know that they love you. They may wish you didn't make as much trouble, but they still love you. Really look at deeply where your thoughts and emotions want to go. You're going to need to take some time with this. You've got like the whole year, but you're going to need to take some time. And if you've been people pleasing or you've been trying to live up to other people's expectations in some way, and it's had a very negative effect on you or on your relationships with them, it's going to take time to heal. I was going to pull one of these. I forgot. I was trying to figure out which oracle deck to use for this, because I felt like this requires an oracle deck. And then my eye fell on these for Aquarius. Whew. Happy love. Okay, you can look at that image. Sorry for my shaky hands when I hold it up. It says, happy love, a joyful, stable partnership, and good friends. And there's the image again to meditate on. So I wish you happy, joy, and love. Have a great night. Take care of yourself.